Hey everybody, Captain B-Nard here. Huge day today because I have my very first battle on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So I am really pumped up about this. I've been looking forward to this for quite some time now. Yeah, it is a long time coming, or at least it feels like it anyway. But I am back with Wi-Fi battles on Generation 9, and I can't wait to jump into it. So many new Pokemon, new moves, new items, new abilities. The metagame is completely turned on its head, obviously, because of the Paldea Pokédex being so different from what we had on BDSP and Sword and Shield, even. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump into it here. So, the first match is going to be against Frank, random person offline. And so, yeah, you can see my team on the left there. We're going to go through it real quick. As per the tradition, it is going to be a team made up entirely of new Generation 9 Pokemon. From top to bottom, we have Meowscarada, the grass starter from this generation, dual type grass dark. We have the Doxbun mono type fairy. We have the Kilowattrel dual type electric flying. We have Palafin, mono-type water. We have Glimora, the dual-type rock poison. And, of course, we have Houndstone, mono-type ghost. Yeah, this is a modified version of my in-game team, of course, with all the stats and moves and everything fixed. So looking at my opponent's team, looks to be pretty strong and well-balanced. So, yeah, not much time to decide what we want to lead with here, but I think we're just going to go ahead and go with the Meowscarada, actually. Uh, Not a lot of time because intros are very long. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and see how that works out. See what Generation 9 has to offer us here. See how well we can fare in our first match. All right. So, he is going to go ahead and lead with the Roaring Moon. That is the Paradox Salamence here, as I lead with the Meowscarada. Now, I am not super familiar with speed tiers. I know Meowscarada is very fast. So I think we're going to roll the dice and just go ahead and try to go for a U-turn right off the cuff here. As we do outspeed, we get the U-turn. That is going to take this thing down by 3/4, which is great damage. We do take some Life Orb recoil, and then we aren't going to get the pivot, of course. And what do we want to come in with to face this thing? I think this thing is Dark Dragon, I believe. So we're going to go ahead and come in with the Doxbun to face it down. So there it is. And he is just going to go for a U-turn as well, so he's going to get some chip damage on us there. He gets a crit, actually, which is a little unfortunate because that means he gets a little more chip damage on us. But Doxbun has pretty decent defense, so we take it relatively well. The only bad news about this is he is going to get a matchup on us. Yeah, we'll see what he wants to bring in here. So, what is it going to be? That is the question. And it is going to be the Amoonguss. Okay, so we should definitely be outspeeding this thing, I think, now. We could definitely hit this thing with a Psychic Fangs just to get good damage off. So he does have dark types, obviously, but I don't think he'll want to bring him in, or he would have done that already. This thing could definitely try to put us to sleep, but so what do we want to? How do we want to play this here? It would be maybe a little risky to go right back to the Meowscarada, but you know what? I think we're just going to go ahead and stay in, try to hit this thing with a Psychic Fang, see how much damage we can get. We do outspeed. Psychic Fang's not going to do too much, unfortunately. We do take some Rocky Helmet damage, as he does go for the Spore, unfortunately, so that will, of course, put us to sleep there, which does suck, but what can you do? I think I think probably the best course of action here might be just to try and stay in and wake up. That's what I'm thinking. So we're just going to go ahead and click Psychic Fang again here. He does stay in. We are still asleep, unfortunately, as he's going to go for a Giga Drain, which is going to take us down to about a third HP. He is going to get some HP back, not too much though. So I think we just stay the course here and try to wake up and Psychic Fang this thing for more damage. Unfortunately, we are asleep a second turn, which does suck, as he Giga Drains again. We barely survived that with 21 HP in the red. No doubt surviving because of our Assault Vest here. He regains a little more HP, and I guess there's no point in abandoning the plan now, so we're just going to keep on doing it. As we do wake up this turn, we go for the Psychic Fangs, so we're going to get more chip on this thing, knocking it below half, as it looks like the Rocky Helmet damage is going to take us out there, knocking us down to 5. So he's going to go Giga Drain, which is not going to hit anything, obviously. So that's actually best case scenario, that the Rocky Helmet took us down, because that allows us, or him, to not get extra chip damage, or extra HP restoration, I should say. So we're actually going to go ahead and come in with the Kilowattrel at this point. So how do we want to play this is the question. I am so glad the team preview is back, by the way. That is definitely invaluable. So I think, you know what, based on what he has left on the squad, I think we're just going to go ahead and fire off a Choice Specs Air Slash here to try and hit something really hard. See what he wants to do. He might try to switch out to save it to get some Regenerator, but we'll see what he wants to do here. I don't think, yeah, he is going to go ahead and go for the switch here. And he is going to come in with the Clodsire, expecting the electric move. So we're going to catch him with a Choice Specs Air Slash. That is not going to do that much damage to that thing, honestly. Clodsire is very, very bulky, unfortunately. So, yeah, I don't think we can stay in on this matchup given that damage. Although I don't know what Clodsire can actually do to us in return. I don't know that it can do too much to us. So maybe we do stay in and try to... You know what? I think we do stay in here, actually. So we're just going to go ahead and stay in and give him another Choice Specs Air Slash and see where that gets us. We go ahead and hit that. Takes him down to about a quarter with a critical hit, actually, as he goes for the Toxic, which is going to badly poison us. So that is going to wear us out over time. Not the biggest deal in the world, though, as Kilowattrel is kind of a glass cannon anyway. We do take some poison damage, and I'm thinking at this point we just stay the course and go for another Choice Specs Air Slash. It might actually take him out, but no, he's not going to play that game. He is going to go for the switch, and he's going to come in with Corviknight. So he's probably realizing we're Choice Specs at this point based on the damage output. So even on a resisted hit on that Corviknight, that Choice Specs Air Slash actually does a pretty considerable amount of damage to the Corviknight, which is nice, but then he's got Leftovers recovery, and we do take some poison damage here. So we definitely can't stay in on this match, unfortunately. So I think we're going to go ahead and I think we're going to go to the Glamora here. If he goes for a physical attack, it's going to activate our unique ability, Toxic Debris, which is going to set some toxic spikes up on him, which would be nice. So yeah, we're going to do that, as he's going to go for the double switch, actually, anticipating us to switch, and he's going to come back in with the Clodsire. So this could go one of two ways for us. We know we should be outspeeding the Clodsire. We are max special attack, so the only question is, can an Earth Power take this thing out from this range? And, well, I guess the second question would be, is that a gamble I want to take? And you know what? I'm feeling like a gambling man right now. It's our first battle on Scarlet and Violet, so let's do it. Let's go for the Earth Power. We know we outspeed, hit the Earth Power, and it is enough to go ahead and get rid of that Clodsire, and that's going to knock him down to 5. So that is pretty incredible for us. Glamora putting in some work, which is always good news. So we'll see what he wants to bring in response, and it is going to be the Roaring Moon, so he's going to come back in with that. And so, unfortunately, this thing most certainly does have access to Earthquake, so we definitely don't want to get hit with an Earthquake. So I think the best course of action here, we're going to make maybe perhaps a little bit of a gamble, and we're going to try to switch back to the Kilo Watch Roll, predicting an Earthquake on this thing. Hopefully he doesn't try to set up, because that would be really bad. And so yeah, we'll see where that gets us. So there it is, and he does Earthquake, so we do get the prediction right, which is great. That's not going to touch us, and then we do take some damage there from the poison. So now we have, again, another choice to make here. So his ground type is down, so he has nothing that resists electric, or I'm sorry, nothing that's immune to electric at this point. So I say the best course of action here is actually just to go ahead and fire off a Choice Specs Volt Switch. That's what we're going to do. He stays in. It should be enough to take this thing out with Choice Specs, and indeed it is. So the Roaring Moon's going to go down there, and that's going to knock him down to 4, which is great. We are going to get the pivot. The only bad thing about that is we are going to have to show first, so he's going to get a matchup against us. So I think it's actually time to go ahead and bring the Palafin in, actually. So we're going to do that because we do need to switch this thing out to get its unique ability, 0 to Hero, to activate, which will change it to Hero Form Palafin, which will give it a lot of stat boosts. So we do want that to happen. So now he's going to come in with the Quaquaval, and that might be bad news for us, but we'll see where it goes. I'm not 100% sure what this thing is going to want to do, but I think we just go for the flip turn to get some chip on this thing, and then a pivot. So he should outspeed us, indeed he does. He goes for the Aqua Step, and that is going to do some chip damage to us, and then of course give him a speed boost, which is not good, as we do get the flip turn, which is going to get some chip damage on this thing, and then of course the mandatory switch. Now the only unfortunate thing about this situation is he's probably going to be outspeeding pretty much everything on our team now, thanks to that speed boost. So I think it is time. I think we have to go ahead and switch in the Houndstone. So that is exactly what we're going to do. So there it is. And this thing is then going to regain some HP with the leftovers. So I think in this situation, the best thing we can do, we do have one of our Pokemon, I believe, has been knocked out at this point. So that is going to give us the edge to go for Houndstone's special move, the Last Respects, which gets stronger with each Pokemon that is knocked out. So I think that's our best option here. We're going to go ahead and do that, as he does go for a switch here. And we'll see what he wants to switch into. It's going to be the Chi-Yu, so he did see that coming a mile away, unfortunately. He gets the Beads of Ruin to cut our special defense, another unique ability here. We're going to do a Last Respects, which does do quite a bit of damage to this thing on a resisted hit even, taking him down by about a third. So unfortunately, we can't stay in on this matchup here. The only question is, what do we want to bring in on this thing? And this is going to be a tricky switch here. A lot of times these things are choice, and he could very well be going for a dark move, I would think. But it's going to be a little bit of a risky switch. But I think the best option is to actually go back to the Meowscarada. So just given the fact that he might be choice, and then if he's not, I think we'll outspeed. So I think we have to go back to the Meowscarada, predicting the dark move here. So that's what we're going to do. Hopefully he doesn't go for the fire move, but we'll see. So there it is. And he's going to Dark Pulse, so that is going to do a lot of damage, actually, even on a resisted hit, knocking us a little below half. So now the question is, what do we want to hit this thing with? We should be, I think we outspeed this thing. I believe we outspeed this thing. I think our best option here is actually just to go ahead and go for the U-turn, so that's what we're going to do. And he actually outspeeds us, which means that he's going to be Choice Scarf more than likely. He hits the Dark Pulse, and unfortunately we can't take that. So that's going to knock the Meowscarada out, knocking us down to 4, which is unfortunate. But the only good news here is that we are going to get the matchup on him to switch. So this is the perfect time to go back into Palafin. 0 to Hero is activated, transforming us into a Heroic Dolphin indeed, which is just great. So now the question becomes, What do we want to do? I don't think he's going to want to stay in on this matchup, although he might. It's going to be hard to say, actually. We know he's choice Scarf. Um, I believe we could safely say he's choice Scarf. But the problem is he may or may not read the Jet Punch coming, so this is actually going to be a pretty critical decision that we have here on our hands. I think we probably just have to play it safe and go Jet Punch, so that's what we're going to do. And unfortunately, he's going to see that coming, and he's going to go for the switch, and he is going to go to the Amoonguss. So that's not great for us, unfortunately. We are going to Jet Punch this thing, and it does take it down a little below half with a critical hit, actually, which is nice. We do take some Rocky Helmet damage, which is unfortunate, and now we're really not going to have any alternative but to switch out. So I think best case scenario is we just have to go to the Glamora, so that's what we're going to do. And we'll see where that gets us. So, yeah, there is the switch. And we're going to go to the Glamora and see what he wants to do. Hopefully he just doesn't go Spore, but that's probably what he's going to do. No, he goes for a Foul Play, so that's interesting. So he goes Foul Play, which is actually going to activate our Toxic Debris to set the Toxic Spikes up on his side of the field. So that actually works out very well for us as we get some HP back from the Black Sludge. So yeah, I think now we have to... I think we have to Sludge Wave here to try to take this thing out. He might not want to stay in, but we can't take that chance. He does stay in. We go Sludge Wave, and it is enough to go ahead and finish that Amoonguss off, knocking him down to 3. So that is pretty amazing for us as we do get some HP back with our Black Sludge going back to full. So that was definitely a good turn of events for us. Now he's going to come in with the Corviknight, and so he may well want to... defog those Toxic Spikes away, since his last 2 Pokemon other than Corviknight are weak to those Toxic Spikes. I think on our side, I think the best play we have here is to actually go back to the Kilowattrel, predicting him to not attack us. So that is what we're going to do. So there it is. And he is going to defog as predicted, so he's going to get those Toxic Spikes off, which is fine. And then we are going to... he is going to get some HP back with the leftovers as we do take some poison damage here. So now, another tricky situation to be in because he doesn't really have a good switch into to an electric attack right now, so he may well want to stay in, but... I think the best thing we can do, honestly, is just go for a Choice Specs Thunderbolt regardless. That's what we're going to do. He stays in, we hit a Choice Specs Thunderbolt, and that is going to destroy that Corviknight from that range, knocking him down to 2 Pokemon, which is amazing for us as we do take more poison damage there. So we will see what he wants to bring in response, and it is going to be the Chi-Yu. So this thing could definitely be a big problem for us. He drops our special defense now. Unfortunately, we really do not have a good switch into this thing right now. So I think we're probably just going to have to stay in with the Kilowattrel, click Thunderbolt just to see what he locks himself into. It's going to be Psychic. So he hits a Psychic. We cannot survive that, unfortunately. That's going to get rid of our Kilowattrel, knocking us to 3. So he might have been predicting the... You might have been predicting the Glamora to come in there on the switch. So yeah, now we have another tough call on our hands here. Can Houndstone... You know what? I believe, I have confidence, I think, that Houndstone can take a Psychic at -1 defense. It is not Stab, so that is my firm belief. So if he does switch out, we're just going to go ahead. I think we have to go for Last Respects at this point, just in case he switches out. The power will be massive either way, so we're going to click Last Respects. He stays in, goes for the Psychic. Can we take it from full max HP? Yes, we can easily take that. We go for the Last Respects, and that is going to destroy that thing, no problem, and knock him down to just 1. So Houndstone putting in the work there with that absolutely insane move, Last Respects right there. And surviving with it's relatively decent bulk. So we get some HP back from the leftovers. As now, he has only one Pokemon left, and that is the Quaquaval. So he has no choice but to go ahead and come in with that here. So there it is. And so there's no point in switching right now. I think we're just going to go ahead and click Last Respects again. No reason not to, as he goes for a bulk up. So he's going to go ahead and get a attack and defense increase, which is definitely bad news. We go for the Last Respects here, and that is not quite enough to take this thing out, unfortunately. He survives with about a quarter of his HP there. So this game is not over yet, unfortunately for us. So we get some HP back here from the leftovers as well as him. So there's nothing for us to do here but just keep clicking the Last Respects. So that's exactly what we're going to do. He's going to go Aqua Step at +1 attack. Can we take it? Yes, Houndstone can take it. With about a quarter HP remaining, we go for another Last Respects, and that will be enough to finish the Quaquaval off. And that is game. Alright, so we are going to get a 3-0 victory there against Frank, but that was a really good match, actually. Very competitive. And so just an all-around good one to kick things off here on Scarlet and Violet. No terrestrialization on either side, actually, which is interesting. So we're going to go ahead and quit. So yeah, didn't get to use the terrestrialization. I don't know why he didn't use it. I didn't use it just because there's no point in me. Usually, as I'm coming to realize with terrestrialization, I think it's just one of those things that you kind of save it in the back pocket toward the end of the game most of the time. My kind of backup plan was that if the Houndstone went down there, that I would have a terrestrialization in the back pocket for one of my last two Pokemon to try and close the game out. Had the Houndstone not been able to close the game out, so I don't know why he didn't want to do it, but yeah, so all around good one there, as I said, to start off Scarlet and Violet. So that's it. Thanks for watching again, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, and/or subscribe if you did enjoy, and stay tuned for more new battles in the future. I'm very excited to be getting into Scarlet and Violet battles here, and hopefully they can all go well. So that's it, and we'll see you next time.